My guest today had dreams of being famous and working in the music industry, but it was the choices he made on a dark night in 2009 that changed his life forever. Welcome, Rob.
Thank you.
So tell me about the dreams you had.
I had a dream of making music and being a famous rapper and being in the limelight and trying to do what I seen and what I felt was my passion. And so working with music and making mixtapes and trying to get out there and just be that model.
Yeah. And then October 4th, 2009, you made a poor choice. Tell us about that.
Yes, well, I attended a party, and it was a party of people that lived a certain lifestyle, you know, drug dealing and the street life, gang life, and it was just an altercation that me and another individual had. And, you know, it was verbally, you know, talking to each other, and then, you know, it was just a situation that's kind of got aggressive, and, you know, I was put in a situation where it was life or death situation, and this individual came at me, and I pulled out a gun and I shot him.
And he died.
Yeah, he died.
That night. You were arrested January 13, 2010, and you were charged with second-degree murder.
Correct.
How did you feel?
I didn't know how to really feel at that moment.
Yeah.
I knew prior to that time, it was almost 4 months before I got arrested after the incident. So, you know, through the whole time I was on tilt and I wasn't really myself, because you're still on guard for whatever may happen, retaliation, everything that comes with that. But I was actually on my way to do a show in Ottawa the day I got arrested. And then when my car that I was riding it got rushed by the police, they smashed the windows out and threw flash bombs. And they arrested me, and it was, when they told me I was charged with second-degree murder, you know, I just felt like my life was, you know, everything was flashing before me. You know, to me, I was defending my life. It was a self-defense. So when they told me it was second degree, it was, you know, I just didn't know what to think. My mind was, I wasn't even all there at that time.
You became verbally abusive to your fiancé. Your fiancé's outside, you're communicating with her, and you just saw yourself start to change. But she was praying for you.
Yes.
Tell me about this.
Yeah, I was very verbally abusive to her. I had a lot of hate after this situation. When you hear that you're facing, you know, when you hear second degree, that's almost life in prison. So all your hopes of everything that you planned on having is gone. And I was actually taking my anger out on my fiance at the time. And, you know, but she was so strong, and she would still believe and have faith that I could change. And, you know, she would just always pray for me and say, this is not who you are. Don't let this situation define who you are. You know, that wasn't you. And, you know, it would get me mad. And, you know, I would just take things out on her all the time, and everything that I was going through in prison, you know, she would have to go through it with me, and, you know, but she was so strong, and she would continue to seek God, and her faith with God was the main source that kept me, you know, going, because I really became to trust her at that time.
And she saw something in you.
Yeah.
She stuck by you all that time.
She seen something in me that I didn't see in myself.
Yeah. So a day comes where you have to stay in your cell because you're injured, and a Bible ends up in your hands. Tell me about this day and how it transforms your life.
Yeah, well, there was an incident in prison, and it was retaliation, and, you know, my face got sliced. And that was my turning point. You know, it was about a year, just over a year into my sentence. And that was my changing point of wanting to give that life up. And
why did you want to give the life up?
there was nothing into it. There's no outcome. There's no good outcome of that lifestyle. And, you know, the only outcome that you get from that is either life in prison or you're dead. And, you know, I had someone who was always praying for me and who I really loved on the outside. So I wanted to change and to give her that chance at life. She put her life on hold for me. And, you know, when my face got sliced, I went to segregation, and, you know, I just decided, you know, I said, Lord, I'm done with this life. I need you to really help me understand what you want from me and who you are to me, because I don't know nothing. And that's when I picked up a Bible, and, you know, I started reading, and I called my fiancé, and I just let her know, like, what is it that I could read? You know, like, how do I start this? What do I do? I said, I need you to pray for me. I just need you to, you know, ask God to be there for me. I don't know who he is, but I want to get to know him. And, you know, I just need to feel his presence. I need to know that he's really here for me, and he really cares for me, and he really loves me, because I just felt alone and, you know, forgotten.
You served 7 years.
I served 7 years, and I was given 11 life, and I appealed my situation, and by God's grace, you know, an appeal in someone on a life sentence, on a murder charge, is about a 1 in a million opportunity chances. And, you know, that just shows the power of God. You know, it's not about luck, it's not about what you do most, you know, it's being close to God and really seeking him and trusting him that he can make the impossible possible.
I want you to talk to maybe young people who are watching, who have maybe ended up in the wrong crowd and maybe made some decisions that they regret making. What do you say to your young people as well at your church about their future and about the choices that they make?
I'd let them know that, you know, the street life and, you know, drinking and smoking and the gang life, you know, there's no outcome to that life. And, you know, it's very tempting nowadays. Everybody is, you know, doing it just to try to fit in. And, you know, I just let them know that the only outcome to that, there's only two outcomes. And, you know, there's a lot of things that go with that lifestyle. And the pain that I had to go through and the suffering that I had to go through because of the choices that I made, you know, that's something I wish I could turn back in time. You know, but I just let them know that it's not worth it. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be, you know, a Christian. It's okay to be that person that loves God and seeks God. Because when I found out that I had God in my life, you know, nothing could stop me. You know, and I was a leader out there, and, you know, I'd always stayed a leader, but now I'm a follower of God, and I'm being led by God in so many different ways, and I'm obedient to God. And I laid everything down for him, and, you know, I don't care what people think. It doesn't bother me what they say about me. I'm me. I know who is real, and I know, you know, what God has done in my life. And he's moved so many things in my life, and he's put me in so many places, and he's opened so many doors. And if he can do it for me, he can do it for them.
We only have seconds left, Rob, but that lady that prayed for you diligently, that was your fiancé when you were in prison, is now your wife.
Yes.
Tell me about this new life, now being married.
Being married is, you know, it's the best feeling to be able to have a wife like that who is so strong with God and who really holds me and told me and encouraged me to be who I am today. You know, she took me baby steps and understand what God does and how God moves, and, you know, and it's just a blessing to be able to share this life with her now. And it took a long time, but, you know, she had the patience, and she's very strong, and I'm just so grateful to have a woman like that at my side.
She didn't let go.
She didn't let go.
Thanks so much, Rob, for sharing your story today.
Thank you, no problem.
And I want to encourage maybe spouses that are watching today, and you might have a spouse that is that you're praying for. You're praying that they will come to know Jesus and know his saving grace. Know that your prayers are being heard by God, and in due time they will be answered. Call our prayer lines, 1-866-273-4444. Amazing prayer partners that would love to agree with you in prayer that your loved one, can come to know Jesus today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.